What's going on, you guys? Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. So I hope you had nice weekends wherever you've been on planet Earth. We're going to be diving into some price technical analysis for Lunar Classic, just getting you guys up to speed, giving you my perspective on things, and really just covering the broader market here in this video. If we want to understand what's going to happen with the price of LUNC, we need to understand what's going on outside of the bubble. I think that's such an important aspect of being a crypto trader, period. You should pay attention to absolutely everything. And I myself paying attention to a lot of stuff, but never really reporting on anything outside of Lunar Classic. And I think it's a little bit unfair to you guys. So let's dive straight into this one. But don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, do those three things. You're going to help us grow. You're going to help Lunar Classic grow. And in turn, more people could find LUNC. Ray Dalio's warning that something worse than a recession is looming, and we are seeing a reaction in the market. And like I said, we'll be going over absolutely everything. Dalio said the president's economic policies could lead to an international conflict in a way that is highly disruptive to the world economy. And you're seeing a lot of psyops out there. There's this current argument about rare earth minerals being rare or not being rare, and it's a con term because essentially it's not the minerals that are rare, it's the refining. And seeing that back and forth with China over rare earth minerals and the distribution of them, it's not that China has all of the rare earth minerals, it's that they own around 80% of the refining process, and that's point critical to those rare earth minerals. So looking forward, 130 nations are in trade talks with the US, and I think they're overstating this a little bit. There's still a lot of back and forthing between a lot of countries. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and this uncertainty is really pushing people into more certain assets across board. The White House has announced that 130 current countries are currently engaged in negotiations for new trade deals with the United States, and this surge in trade talks involves significant economies like India, Japan, and Korea aiming for what has been described as friendly trade agreements. This is what we want to see in the market, but at the same time, is it reflecting the actual situation? And I don't think it is, but I personally believe Donald Trump is very smart and he's trying to drive people out of what was the normal financial sector and into this new ecosystem that's thriving, that is Web3, blockchain technology, DeFi, everything that we're involved in. It seems like that's what Donald Trump is urging people towards. And we're seeing many others speak out on this, and we could bring up so many articles in regards to it. But what reflects the actual situation in hand? When it comes down to regulation, this choke point that's supposedly been removed being 2.0, and there's a lot of talk around the Genius Stablecoin Act, and this is very close to passing. At this moment in time, it should effectively be on the president's desk, ready for him to go through, and then hopefully we're going to see him sign this, and it's going to push through the new era of stability, because with the Genius Stablecoin Act, you've got all of these regulations coming in thick and fast, which lays out a guide, if you will. It allows third parties, financial sector, it allows anyone that wants to get involved in crypto that was uncertain if they could get involved in crypto now have that certain ecosystem to thrive in. And like I said, this is on the president's desk. It should be there. It should be ready to go. And yeah, we're seeing reactions in regards to this with the market as World Liberty Finance has quietly launched its new USD1 stablecoin. And would you believe it? This thing is completely compliant with the Genius Stablecoin Act. So we really need to look at the situation. We need to assess the situation, and we need to better understand, is the market going to go up? Is this a good time for Bitcoin, or is this a bad time for Bitcoin? And from my perspective, it's a brilliant time to be involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. When we take a look at the broader market and we say to ourselves, what is different during this cycle? Well, historically, we've all been reliant on the concept that BTC halves itself every 4.5 years, and this in turn drives the market up to new all-time highs. Well, the difference is this time broader global adoption is here, and it's coming thick and it's coming fast. The United States did say they were going to moving very fast in regards to regulating, bringing crypto on board. And I think we're starting to see that reaction in the market. And I spoke previously that if we did see a bigger move downwards, as we reported on, we would likely end up inside this trend line. And we have ended up exactly inside that trend line, and now we're bouncing. And what you're generally going to want to see here is a bigger move upwards back towards that original trend line we were walking on during the peak of the halving cycle. So really, things are looking overall bullish if you drown out the noise, if you pay attention to what's most important at this current moment in time, which is definitely going to be gold. It's definitely going to be silver. It's going to be aerospace and defense stocks. These are the things that are going to lead the market because, as we know, money talks louder than anything. We know that very well on the channel. Gold's punching a new all-time high. Silver's not far behind, trailing just behind it, but still sitting in an area which is relatively new to silver holders. And if you're been involved in silver as I have, I've been buying coins which are tax free. It's working out really good for people like us now. So you've really got to think of all of the intricacies. You've got to think of the ins, you've got to think of the outs. So let's go over to Lunar Classic, and yeah, the technical analysis chart on this is pretty crazy from my side, but we're looking at that Trump dump, that all important Trump dump, because this did determine the narrative of this cycle. Was it going to be positive? Was it going to be negative? And the overall feel and vibe is, well, it's negative. But from my perspective, we're playing out a very important pattern right now on our chart. And it's one of two patterns. It's either a descending triangle or it's going to be a triple bottom. If it's a descending triangle, you best believe we're probably going to be going down. If it is a triple bottom, well, we could see some short-term relief. And we're still playing this pattern out now. We're looking at this on the day chart. So effectively, we could keep trailing all the way to the end of this before it decides if it is one of those two patterns. But effectively, we could see a short-term breakout before. It could really happen at any time now. We just need one critical factor to kick in. And next thing you know, your USTC's rising, LUNC's rising, and Luna's rising alongside it. Something that everybody should pay attention to right now is the governance process. The sub-DAO itself, if you believe it's positive, if you believe it's negative, regardless, they're going to be taking community pool funds over time and they're going to be converting those into stable assets. And when they convert assets, yes, they sell the LUNC coins that they have gotten from the community pool. So we could see some sell pressure in the future, although it's going to be coming possibly in $2,000 to $2,500 snippets. They could come in thick, they could come in fast, and effectively we are a chain that doesn't have a lot of buying and we do not have a lot of selling. So this could lead to maybe some upward momentum, it could lead to some downward momentum. We're going to have to see how the market reacts to this overall, how the ecosystem reacts, and how we favor with these new USDC stable pairs that are going to be funding all of the different signers that are part of that sub-DAO, as they are the ones that have the DEXs on chain. So obviously the funding is for DEXs to get stable coin liquidity pairs, and yeah, it will be going to those guys. So it's not necessarily going to the ecosystem, instead it's going to these layer 2 projects, and we really are just going to have to see how that pans out. What I'm really hoping for is a push, and I mean a strong push, back up onto this trend line we were actually forming before the Trump dump. And we saw a massive spike here, but we also saw that massive spike down as people bought in and then sold during that phase of panicking. So you're going to want to keep an eye on the overall market. Like I said, you're going to want to keep an eye on the day chart, see how this pattern plays out, and really just see how things feel, how things are going, how that regulation begins to unfold, and where Lunar Classic really positions itself in the market. And I think it's positioned in many different ways. There's so many different projects, protocols, the apps. There's absolutely everything on chain now. If you just want to come here and you want to build, you can do it. You can come in, you can grab the future by your own hands, and you can see that done. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is a descending triangle? Do you think we're going to be in for more short-term sell pressure? Do you think there's going to be a positive reaction in the market alongside this new sub-DAO committee being created? Let me know what you guys think. But aside that, I hope I got you up to date. I'll roll out some more content. We're working on some tutorials as well for you guys for Lunk Dash and migration guides. But links to everything in the description. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and I'll catch you in the next one.